Hi, this is Sebastian from the Metal Gods Meltdown, and I'm joined by
Chris Impellitteri.
Hi, it's great to chat to you today. Your new album, Venom, is a classic metal album. What are you feeling as the release date's approaching?
Excitement. Euphoria. Me and the band were so thrilled with the way this record turned out. I can tell you, we've been a band since, since the time where the dinosaurs were evolving the earth. So to do something so energetic and, so magical as this record has turned out is a thrill for us. And we're really excited to tour behind this record. And, right now I'm in the middle of, doing the promotion, and the media and the critics shockingly love this record. So we're really excited, especially for, our core fans.
It is absolutely fantastic. Are there any particular songs you're looking forward to most playing live from the new album?
Yeah, well, tomorrow we're going to Los Angeles to shoot the first 5 music videos, and I can tell you the videos we're also going to be doing live, which the songs are Venom, Empire of Lies, We Own the Night, Face the Enemy, and Nightmare. So those are like the 5 songs that I really love playing. It's so much fun.
I remember buying your album back in 1988. How do you still maintain the ability to play so fast?
I have to be cautious the way I always answer these speed questions, because I've gotten accused over the years of just being a wanker, Listen, I really do love the guitar. I love playing guitar. I love challenging myself. And the speed thing, I never meant that to be a show-off. I'm not an egotistical or arrogant person. It's just part of my playing. I think it stemmed from part of my childhood. I lost my parents when I was 9 years old. I was an orphan. And I think I had this anger that I was always channeling out, and I was expressing myself with the instrument. And a lot of that was through speed and, just trying to, make the guitar scream in some form of manner. And, to this day, I still have a lot of those pent-up feelings. And so, I play guitar all day long. I always have a guitar with me, no matter where I'm at, what part of my house, upstairs, downstairs, pool area, media room, wherever I'm at in my house, there's guitars, and I'm always playing. So, I have, over the years, developed a thing called muscle memory, where you just, you play scales and you play solos, and you do it enough times, even if you're playing really fast, your body literally does it a lot of times without even thinking, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so it's remarkable. And I've actually just for Venom, I actually spent 3 years developing a new picking technique that I've never seen anybody do. And you can hear it on the guitar solo Venom. It allows me to play really percussively, right? Tremendous attack, and articulation is really clear. And it's really fast solo, but it still has a melodic sense to it. And I know that's really hard for some people to understand, but one challenge that I've always put myself as, especially because a lot of times, yes, I do the shredding thing. Playing fast can be garbage, can be terrible. Just be noise. What's the point? So my rule is, if I'm going to play fast, it has to take you somewhere. It has to have a start and a finish, and feel like it has matured in some manner. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but it basically has to have some sort of melody and melodic content to it, right? A beginning and an end. So, that's why I practice all day long, trying to develop that kind of style. And I think over the years, it's become very natural.
So obviously you have a lot of guitars in your house. Do you have one that means the most to you?
Yeah, probably I have, from 1968 to 1971, Fender made this large headstock 4-bolt Fender Stratocaster. It's one you usually would have seen Jimi Hendrix with, And so I've got the very last year of the 4-bolt large headstock Stratocaster, and you've probably seen me in, video footage or holding or whatever. It's a Sunburst Stratocaster, and I love that thing. So I play that a lot. But believe it or not, on Venom, a lot of this record I used my 1958 Gibson Les Paul. Like the song Venom, the solo, everything's all that Les Paul, and it shreds. It sounds amazing. Great tone, it's probably because the wood's aged. So I love that guitar as well. And I just signed on. I just officially signed on with Marshall Amps as an endorser. And I'm now endorsing Charvel, Jackson, Fender. I'm endorsing them as well.
Is it an easy process choosing a set list from your extensive back catalogue? It must be a bit of a nightmare.
To do live, we actually, we try to play songs from every record. And, we we get a feel basically from our, the fan base, the people that really enjoy our music. They usually tell us, oh, that song's great, or dude, you guys suck. They'll tell us what they like and they don't like, on the songs. And so over the years, like on the first Impellitteri record, the Impellitteri Black EP, we always played Lost in the Rain. That's a big one, and I think the song Burning. Stand in Line, the title track, we always play that, even though Rob wasn't in the band at that point. And then we'll play stuff from like the Crunch record, songs like Speed Demon. From System X, we'll may play a couple of those songs. Wicked Maiden, we obviously do the title track, Wicked Maiden. And obviously on Venom, we're going to probably be doing the first 5 or 6 songs guaranteed off that record because they're so much fun to play live.
You go to Japan a lot. What is so special about Japan for you?
They accepted us. That's the honest answer. I don't know what it is about our band. I don't think our band is any better than some of the other great rock bands I've seen in history. I don't think by any means we are, but for some reason, they embraced us. And we became this huge rock band that was part of Japanese culture. I knew because the first time I went over there, it was 1988 or 89. First show I played was Tokyo Dome, which was 65,000 seats, sold out. And, we've sold millions of records over there. We've done really well, and to this day, I'm not sure what it is about us. I have some theories, but they've been such a great support to this band. We've never felt like giving up, and music's our life, so we'll keep doing this no matter what. But I don't know, maybe something about the way the Japanese people are educated. They're very well educated, and so everything they do, they research, and that's probably why they like bands like Dream Theater, they like Impellitteri, they like Yngwie Malmsteen, bands like Mr. Big are huge over there. I think it's because we all have some sort of technical element, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
And something happened, I don't know what it is. All I know is to this day, even as you and I speak, I'm on the biggest guitar magazine in Japan. I'm on the cover right now. It just got released a couple days ago, and they've been such a great support. So that's basically why I love them, and I love the people in Japan. It's great. It's really a great experience.
Yeah, I've spoken to many people, many bands who absolutely adore Japan. Is it a country you've ever thought about relocating to? You could just have the limo and everything there, couldn't you? You could just live the style, the rock star lifestyle.
Yeah, listen, I live basically in Malibu, California. Mm-hmm. I've got a great life. There's no way I would trade this for the world. I love Japan, and I could definitely see myself having a residence there.
Yeah.
There are times where I go, yeah, me and the band guys laugh. We should just basically, get it's like being in New York City, or London, get a flat basically and just, basically keep it all the time. We had thought about that at one point because we were over Japan so often,
Awesome. Because of course, Japan from the UK is mega far, but I suppose it's not such a distance really from the USA, is it?
It's 11.5-hour flight, so it's basically it's almost twice what it is to go from LA to New York City.
You'd have to miss the TV, get me on a plane for that long.
Believe me, there's a reason God invented Xanax and bourbon.
Absolutely.
We know where the give me some sleeping pills, and no, we gotta be careful at our age, don't want to kill ourselves. But we're like road dogs. We're tuned. We know how to sleep on the planes. We love it.
So will you be touring hopefully over in Europe and the UK?
God, I hope so. I really hope so, Sebastian. It's not like we don't try. It's really difficult because there's a saying in America they call it the good old boys club. It's a very tight niche clique, and for years, fans all over the world, we've got such a great cult audience, and they are dying to see us live, and for years it was the same thing. They were buying our records on imports, paying these outrageous prices, and we felt really bad about that. So, finally with Frontiers, we're for the first time, in a big way, going to release the record in Europe, all over South America, in the United States. We're doing a major push for this record. And any promoter, anyone who wants us to tour, we're going to just say, yes, we'll tour. We'll grin and bear it if it's not venues we're used to. Because in Japan, we can play arenas, and, it's hard when you're coming off a major production. You know what I mean? When you're playing You know, I might be coming to your house, Sebastian, and playing in your living room.
You're welcome.
But either way, you know, yes, we are definitely trying to tour right now. We're going to tour. We start in Japan. We're doing On Air East Arena in Tokyo on May 28th. We're doing Osaka, and then we do Hiroshima, and then Frontiers. They're going to do a major rock festival this year in Germany in October 3rd and 4th, and they've just invited us to be one of the top billing bands. So we're like, I think we're going to do that as well. And so then the intent is just do a full-blown tour everywhere.
I've seen you live, honestly, and I've been a fan since 1988, a long time ago. Hey, but
that's amazing, Sebastian. That's great.
But that would be amazing. I mean, the thing is, a lot of bands come over to UK now and just play London. I mean, UK's big. Come up north, come to Scotland. You know, all over the country. Eh?
Absolutely. Listen, I mean, that's what we want to do. You know, the biggest challenge for us, and I'll be blatantly honest, and I'll be very humble. A lot of times, we talk with the promoters, and they just feel like they don't think there'd be enough interest. You know, they know that in Japan and some places in the U.S. we can play very large arenas, and we can do that. But when we come to Europe, you know, we've just gotten a lot of interest now, where a lot of them are going, you know, we don't know if Impellitteri would be able to sell out a 5,000-seat theater,
right,
or would 3 people show up to the concert. You know, so they're always concerned about the risk, because remember, promoters do have to guarantee, and there's expenses, right? They got to fly us over, fly our stage set, which is massive. You know, there's a lot of upfront costs that go into bringing us into a place. You know, so it's been challenging. And, you know, we did a test, you know, because we've always played pretty much in Japan and in America. And we did one show in Europe for Wicked Maiden, only one. We did the Sweden Rock Festival. Right. And I think it was in 2009 or 2010. And the owner of the festival was really cool. He goes, you know what, I'm going to put you guys on the headlining stage. And there's only 4 bands. It was Impellitteri, Journey, Dream Theater, and Black Sabbath. Except it was the Heaven and Hell version with Ronnie before he passed on. And we did that, and we didn't know what to expect, you know, because it was really our first time over there. And I will never forget, we finished the set, 35,000 people going nuts. And me and the band walked off stage, and people were like chanting our name. They wanted an encore. And me and the band looked at each other and went, we have no more songs to play. We're out of music. And we're looking at each other going, dude, you want to play Crazy Train, or, you know, some cover or something like that?
Yeah.
And as we're walking off, I'll never forget, I could see Journey over on the right side and some of the Sabbath guys on the left side, and everybody's smiling, and we're walking off going, I guess we know what the reaction will be if we come over here, you know, because they loved it. It was great. So we know the effect we would have. It's just convincing the promoters.
I mean, let's hope that does happen. It's got to, really, hasn't it? It's got to. It's either that or we all fly over to the States or Japan.
Well, you know, it's funny. I have this joke with the band. I don't know if you know who the band Steely Dan is.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Steely Dan is this very famous band in America. They're big, but they're known as a studio band. They make all these great records, and they're huge in America. Played on the radio all the time, and they never tour. And it's like, so it's funny. I feel like sometimes we're the heavy metal version of Steely Dan.
So where's this festival in Germany you're playing? Have you got the full details of that?
We're you know, again, I haven't committed because I haven't heard the money and stuff. But yeah, they invited us yesterday morning. It's going to be Frontiers Rock Festival in Germany on October 3rd and October 4th.
Okay.
I don't know where the venue is going to be, where the location.
Right.
I'm hoping it's inside because it is October in Germany.
Yeah, it'll be pretty cold.
I'm going to definitely be asking for a lot of heaters on stage. It's probably one way to slow me the fuck down, you know? It's like put them on the ice cold.
So it's been quite a while, hasn't it, since your last release, Wicked Maiden? What have you been doing in between?
Okay, well, this is a fun project I've been involved with. After I finished the Wicked Maiden, you know, the touring stuff we did, I got a call by Sony Music in Japan, and this management team managed like Nickelback and Steven Tyler of Aerosmith, and they said, look, we put together this super band, but it's not what you think. It's basically this group that's going to do heavy metal versions of famous anime music, and it's going to be called Animetal USA. And so they said, here's the band that have agreed to do it. And it started out, it was a drummer named Scott Travis, who's in the band Judas Priest, bass player Rudy Sarzo from Ozzy and Whitesnake, and recently every other band in the world, you know, and a singer named Mike Viscera, who had played with the band Loudness, was a singer for them at one point. and they said they've asked for you to be the lead guitar player. So I was like, I checked it out at first, and I was like, oh, I don't know about this. I said, are we going to make this real metal? Because it's really cover versions of famous anime music. And they said, oh, absolutely. They just want you to go nuts on the guitar solos and make it as heavy as you can, except the singer has to sing the original anime lyrics and melodies, which can be a little silly. So I agreed to do it, thinking it was going to be a quick side project. So we do it, and the first record goes to #1. And we do arenas, and it's massive. We do the second record right to #1 again, and we go off and we do another arena tour. And in Japan, it's huge. And Rudy said, Chris, you got to do this, man. It's our way of basically thanking the Japanese people for their great support over the years, because this is something they're really proud of. This is their culture. And so for us to do this would be an honor. So I did it, and before I knew it, it took us 3 years. 3 years to do those 2 records and the touring cycle and all that. So, before I knew it, I was like, oh my God, I got to do Impellitteri again. I'm getting demands from the labels, and that's basically where I've been for all of this time.
That sounds really interesting. I actually didn't know about that.
Yeah, you may not like it. A lot of metal kids, I think, cringe when they hear it.
I was thinking that. I was thinking, how can you sing like that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's Animetal USA. And, you can see stuff on YouTube. It's very silly. We're dressed up literally like Kiss, makeup. It's superhero stuff. And it's designed, really, it was always targeting the anime world, So, but it's funny. If you want to do something, YouTube the song Cat's Eye, right? And the whole concept of Animetal, it was based on a Japanese band, a famous Japanese band that did it in the early 90s. And so this was an American version of it. Listen to our version called Cat's Eye. It's actually the Mob Rules from Black Sabbath. It's that riff.
Right.
It's got this crazy guitar solo, and then Mike is singing the actual Cat's Eye anime song over the Mob Rules riff. And the drumming's insane. Scott Travis is killing it on that song. So you'll hear that song, and you'll kind of understand what the band's about. But either way, you'll get what it is.
Oh, we're going, oh my God.
Exactly. But what the hell are they thinking? Are they doing crack?
Alright. So going back to your new album then, Venom, the artwork's pretty stunning as well. Did you have a lot of input into that, or was that some...
Yeah, we did. The way it started, though, is we had a fan in Japan. He's in a famous Japanese rock band. His name's Teru.
Right.
And he's a fan of Impellitteri, and he asked if he could do the artwork. So we knew, we had an idea of what this record was about. I got to be careful when I do this again, and I apologize. I've been doing so many interviews, I feel like I'm about to repeat myself.
I bet you are, mate. Honestly, I'm trying to mix the questions up a little bit, but it's just like, you've got to do the basic ones, haven't you?
Yeah. So if I repeat myself on this, I sincerely apologize, right? But I'll tell you, and again, when I do this, I always tell everybody the same thing, because I don't want to come off like some arrogant prick, because I'm not, right? So, but I will tell you, Venom, it's going to basically, where we're going, and I'm going to explain what it's about and why the image, okay? So, when me and the band sat down and decided what we were going to do for this record, we set a goal. I think all bands should always put a goal for themselves. Our goal was to make what we thought would be the greatest rock record in history. Right? That's where the arrogant part comes in. We're just, again, it's only a goal for us to challenge ourselves to see, wow, could we really even get anywhere close to this ridiculous dream? And we also wanted to make a record where we thought we could put this record up and it would easily rival some of our favorite rock records in history. So for me as a kid, bands that, records that I was really addicted to where I couldn't stop listening. Van Halen, the first record, right, with Eruption. That was one for me. Ozzy Osbourne's Blizzard of Eyes and Diary of a Madman. Those were addictive. It's like once it got in my bloodstream, I kept listening over and over again. Master of Puppets by Metallica.
Yeah.
Love the Black Album. Pantera, Cowboys from Hell, rather.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. It was an addiction. Yeah. So we said, if we're going to do a record, let's see if we could make a record that was equally as good as those. Now, we don't know if we could do it or not, but we wanted that. And we wanted it to be to the point where when you listened, anyone, including us, as a listener of this music, when we listen to this record, Venom, we want it to be as if we were bitten by a snake, and the music is the venom. It's like once you hear it, it's like you become a drug addict. You're addicted to it. You can't stop listening to it. That was the idea. And so the venom is the music. It's the poison, right? We're basically, hopefully, poisoning you in a good way, giving you good energy. It's like you just feel great about your day. You feel great getting up, listening to stuff. Your day's going to go great. Things are going to go good for you. That was our whole objective. So that's what the venom is. And then, we thought, well, with Venom, it's interesting to put in someone's body, right? Usually how it's been done in history, you hear all the great medieval stories, the queen poisoned the king.
Yeah.
And they always brought the poison in the chalice, right? For royalty. Royalty drank their wine in the chalice, right? The goblet, the golden. And so for us, we thought, this would be a brilliant image. So we found an image, I think late at night on the internet, of this queen bringing the chalice, right? Now, I don't know if she was poisoning her king or royal family or not, but great image. And so we sent that to Tarot in our label. And they came up, and Tarot came up with this amazing image, and people just loved it. We're like, this is cool. But then our singer, Rob Rock, said, wait a minute, no, we need, like, more serpent stuff. We need, like, snake in her mouth, like, tongue, snake tongue. And so they added that. Before they knew it, it came out, and they sent me the final cover, and I was just like, oh, my God, this is amazing. This is, wow. Just, I was just in awe. I stared at it for an hour going, this is brilliant. Who did this? One of those things.
Yeah. So
that's what Venom means, and that's how the image that you see now has come about.
Just listening to your album, it's like classic metal, and it's back, bringing you back to that feeling that you had when you first heard these albums. You know what I mean? It's sort of like it's addictive and it's fantastic.
You know what I mean? This, I gotta be honest, Sebastian. It's just crazy. We're and again, probably repeating myself, but I've been doing interviews for a couple days now.
Yeah.
And it's just the response from media. It's crazy. Yeah. It's amazing. When you got guys seriously saying, we think you did the greatest rock record of 2015, stuff like that we're hearing, it's just like, this is great. Obviously as an artist, you much rather hear someone like your work than say it sucks, right?
Absolutely.
So it's flattering, but on the other hand, it just feels like whatever this is, I don't know how this record came about. I don't know why it's us that made this record, this music. I don't know what it is. I swear to God, I feel like there's some higher power that channeled itself through us to make this music. Because I'm listening to the record going, Jesus, did we do this? You know what I mean? It's like, just there are times in a guy's career, in an artist, as a band, artist career, that you make one of these records, and a lot of times it's once in an artist's career, once in a lifetime, where you make that record that just, it defies who you are, and it's interesting, we do it at a time where if you really think about it, like especially in America, metal is dead. There's no metal here, right?
Right.
So, my hope is that if this record is as good as they're saying, I hope that it changes that. I hope that kids all over the United States and Europe and everywhere have a chance to listen to this, and just play the songs and see if it has that effect on them, where maybe it makes a difference, positive difference in the whole metal scene. That would be an awesome accomplishment.
3 words to describe the new album.
High energy excitement.
If you had a chance to start again, would you start back in the 80s, or would you be wanting to start in the music scene in 2015?
It's a good question. First of all, I'm extremely grateful for having started in a time where music, Impellitteri, a lot of people don't know who we are. The hardcore metal kids and guitar players, they definitely know who we are. But the masses, the ones that know the Britney Spears or Metallica, Justin Bieber, the big bands, don't know who we are at the moment. But in the 80s, Impellitteri, we were all over MTV in America.
You were?
We were, our first record, we were all over magazines. So we got to the point where, bands like even Bon Jovi had my records, and we made an impact because we were able to be exposed in front of millions of people. I was like a guest on this show called The Headbangers Ball on MTV.
I remember it well, mate. Honestly, I do. Yeah, I can remember it.
They played our Stand in Line video. It's, listen, the Impellitteri Stand in Line, that by no means is a true Impellitteri record. If you listen to our first Impellitteri Black EP, we're borderline thrash. People thought we were like Iron Maiden on steroids, shredding, screaming, all that stuff. Stand in Line was more of a tribute to Rainbow. But that was the video that ended up on MTV, and that was in front of, at the time we were on MTV, that was like 25 million people were watching that show. Mm-hmm. So immediately you're exposed to everybody around the country. I've had metal bands come up to me, go, oh my God, Chris Impellitteri, bands like Disturbed, John 5. I've had a million guys come up to me and go, oh man, we're fans of your band, or we used to follow you around all the time, and blah, blah, blah. And, it was a great time because you could be exposed. Now, if a band starts today, sadly, no matter how good they are in the United States, they're not going to be exposed to the masses because MTV is dead. It doesn't exist. I mean, it plays reality TV shows that have nothing to do with music. You know, occasionally you'll see, you know, VH1 will play metal shows, and I've actually saw Impellitteri video on VH1 recently. But for the most part, it's not there. So as a band, unless you're big, like even in the United States, the biggest bands that still play a decent sized arena would be like Iron Maiden, Van Halen, but even Judas Priest are playing small venues right now.
Crikey.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's, you know, it's a different time. So for us, we've got to work that much harder to make the masses around the United States and the world, you know, listen to us and hear us and allow us to be part of their everyday lives, you know, be part of their families, if you will.
Absolutely.
And so that's the difference between today and yesterday.
Can you give me some final words for our listeners and your fans?
Well, listen, like every artist, I'm about to say, listen to our new record. Check it out. You know, I mean, because I'm truly passionate about this. And if you really love metal and if you really love rock music in general, I think, in the bottom of my heart, I think you're going to love this record. You know, like I said, something channeled through us. It felt like a higher power, whatever it is. I don't even care what it was. All I know is this is one of those records that it can defy rock history. I think it's just magical, and I hope you guys get a chance to check it out. It's going to be fun. And if we come tour, if we're fortunate enough to play in your area, come out and see us play. It'll be fun. It'll be a great party. Hi, this is Chris Impellitteri of the band Impellitteri, and you are listening to the Metal Meltdown. Ow!
It's the end of the line.